Hey BME, my name is Chez, aka Magnetic Distortion on IM. I'm here today to audition for the BME internship, and I figured what's a better way to show you how I travel and what I'm like traveling with, other than to actually show you physically me traveling. It's convenient because I'm starting the Chez tour today and flying through Chicago to Fort Lauderdale from Seattle. So I've got about 8 to 10 hours of travel depending on if I make my connection in Chicago. Crossing fingers. Yeah, so I guess we'll get started, and hopefully this tape won't be too boring. And I apologize for any shaky hand cam movement, as well as any rough editing, because I don't really have an appropriate editing program. So this might be a little choppy. Hopefully you get the message across. And yeah, enjoy. Well, now begins the portion of the video where I am now controlling the camera. I am sorry. So I'm getting ready to leave. It's about 9:40 in the morning. I'm catching a cab at about 10, and so I'm just finishing up all the last minute stuff that I do before I leave on tour, making sure I have my toothbrush, making sure that I have an extra pair of shoes, enough socks, etc., packing up the laptop, filming BME videos, you know, the usual stuff. Today I'm traveling with 2 suitcases and a backpack, which is probably way more than we would be traveling with on the tour, but when I tour, I tend to overpack because I never know the situation that I'm going to be in, and the majority of my stuff is tools. So I guess I'll just show you what I have right now. So here are my awesome 2 suitcases. Pretty dark red and a bright pink, of course, for viewing pleasure on the carousel. And then I've got my nice little backpack that I travel with everywhere. And that's pretty much it. When I'm on tour, I usually live out of this pink bag. It includes all my work clothes, towel, socks, underwear, the whole 9 yards. Tons of vitamins, because vitamins are important when you're touring and not in control of your own food. And then my red bag here is almost completely full of shit for days off. It's a little ambitious to have an entire suitcase for days off, but I always seem to think that it's better to have too many outfits for the days off than not enough outfits at all. Alright, so just got to the airport, about to go through security, and there's always a few important things that you need to do before you go through security. Of course, you don't want to be the jackass that's holding up the line because you forgot that you have to take your belt off, and oh yeah, you do have a laptop computer, and yeah, nobody wants to be that guy. So I generally make sure that even before I get in line, I've got my belt off, my computer's out. I always wear slip-on shoes because it makes it easier to get in and out quickly, and inevitably this means, yes, my pants sag as I'm walking through the security line, and I don't have a jacket on, so it's a little chilly. And since I'm so prepared, generally the person right in front of me is the least prepared person, and it's their first time flying ever. So let's hope for the best. Obviously I can't record through security, so this is it. Alright, so past security, got lucky, didn't get held up with anybody, although some lady had 2 dogs with her, and that was kind of interesting seeing them go through the security line. Just have about 50 minutes till my flight departs, so I'm gonna grab some Starbucks and indulge in my guilty pleasure, which is reading Star magazine at airports and airplanes. I'm not ashamed, really. Yeah, see you at the gate. Well, I made it to the hotel about 9 hours after I departed, finally here in beautiful Sunrise, Florida. Got myself going with a nice little Stella. That's my nighttime treat. It's currently about 12:30 in the morning, and I'm running on West Coast time. So on my watch, it's 9:30. I have to be in the lobby for my call in the morning at 7:30, so I think I'm gonna drink a beer and probably pass out, and we'll pick this up tomorrow. I apologize for not getting you any more airport video footage, but I met up with all my crew and figured they probably didn't want to be on film for BME, so I figured I'll wait till the hotel. But yeah, here we are, and I'll catch up with you tomorrow. Have a good night. Well, here we are. It's 7 in the morning. Lobby calls in about half hour. Just woke up and threw a bunch of clothes on really quick. And now I'm gonna brush my teeth, wash my face, do all that fun stuff, and get to work. All right, I'll check you in a few. I am at the venue. We've loaded in and set up all the stuff and went through a systems check, so we know everything's working. And I figured since I have a little bit of downtime that I would just show you around what I do on a day-to-day basis when I'm on tour. So I'm gonna turn the camera around and give you some shaky hand camera movements. All right. So, first I'll start off with the speakers, which is my main job. Anytime you go into a venue and to see a show, you usually notice the speakers if you look up into the air. And if you look up into the air, you can see multiple hangs of speakers. Those are all mine, not mine personally, but that's all the stuff I'm responsible for putting up in the air every day. And then it comes down this big hulking bit of cable down to my amp world, and it looks very chaotic and disorganized, but it's actually pretty well put together. And I set all this up every day, try and keep the area neat as possible, and that's basically the first bit of my day. From there, I usually go onto the stage and help everybody on stage mic up the band and get everything tested. Since it's a load-in day, we don't have any band gear on stage, but I'll still give you the view from front of house, which is a little less dark. Oh, and that's front of house. You might have seen that at a show before. That's where the lighting and sound person and video person sits to mix the show, otherwise known as FOH. And here we have the stage. The video guys are doing some tests right now, so you can see the video screens popping up. And as we get a little bit farther back, you can maybe get a little perspective of just how big this show is. We've got video screens on both sides, so everybody can see Jay from wherever they're sitting. Lots of lights in the air. None of them are on right now, of course. And then, of course, all the speakers. I do stage right, and there's stage left. Obviously, it's a little bit more complicated than, you know, what I'm briefly telling you, but that's the gist of it. Get into the venue, load in, do what we gotta do, make sure everything works right, sound check, get the band on stage. Alright, well, here we are on my third day of loading and our first production day. We've got Chez, who is one of our opening bands for the tour, on stage right now. They're just getting ready to do their sound check. It's about 1:15 and I've been here since 8, and I'll be here until about 10 p.m. Hey BME, this is our final installment of the audition tape for myself. I know I haven't really talked a lot about why I want to do this internship and why I'm qualified. I kind of left that in my paperwork documentation. The whole point of doing this was kind of just giving you a little look into the life that I lead and the traveling that I do on a fairly regular basis. And I just really hope that no matter who's selected for the internship, that it all goes really well and everybody has a blast and we're able to kind of spread the word and the love for BME and IM, and I can't wait to hear back to see if I'm going to be a part of it. So thanks for watching my shaky hand cam action and traveling with me across country, and I'll talk to you soon.